Lots of people want to know how to merge data files within SPSS statistics. There are two main methods, and these are two particularly distinct procedures. One is the add cases procedure, and the second one is the add variables procedure. So the add case procedure allows you to combine files together where the fields are normally the same, but what you're actually doing is you're adding additional rows. So perhaps you've got data from different time points and you're trying to create a master file, or you've got data that's recorded in two different locations and you want to join them together to create a merged file. The second is where you have adding a situation where you're adding variables, and this is where you're combining files by joining the variables usually to a target file using something like an ID field or what's called a keyed variable. And there are in fact three different methods for doing this, and we'll see what those are in a bit more detail in a moment. So the first example that we will look at is the add cases procedure. That's the procedure where we're really adding additional rows to an existing file. Let's have a look at a data file that we can start with. Here's a file here called Northern Branch, and it contains information about employees in a bank. They all work within the Northern Branch. If I just run descriptive statistics on that, you can see that everybody comes out as frequency at 237. They're all in the Northern Branch. Conversely, we've got some additional employees here, and they're in the Southern Branch, and they belong to the Southern Branch file. And of course, if I run descriptive statistics on that, we get 237 of them as well, even though they're different people with different IDs. So let's run the add cases procedure. Let me start with opening up the Northern Branch file first of all. It doesn't really matter what order I do it in, but if I go to the data menu here and go down to merge files and click on add cases, you can see it says okay, point to the additional file that you want to add on to this, and of course it's the Southern Branch. So it reads that and we hit continue. And what's interesting here is that in the Southern Branch file here we have two variables. We have a variable that doesn't match the name of the variable in the Northern Branch file. So the active data set is indicated by the asterisk. That's this data set here. You can see it's called job category. The external data set, Southern Branch, is indicated by a little plus sign. It tells us where it is. And what I can do is I can just rename one of these if I don't like it. So I can just rename this one here to JobCat, make it a little bit shorter, hit continue, and then we can add it across. Now that's added in, we click OK, and the two files have been joined together. We just right click and hit descriptive statistics on it. You now see that you've got 474 cases, and the two files have been joined together. All we need now is to save it as a sort of master file or merged file or something like that. Joined file, call it joined file. And there we go. Okay, in the next example we're going to look at the add variables procedure. This is where we're adding actual columns or fields onto a target file. So let's have a look at how we do that. So to demonstrate the add variables procedure, where we're going to merge files together with different fields, I'm just going to open up a file here and show you what the details are of that. We've got a file here called employee job details, and this is what it looks like. It has some details about people's salaries and their length of time in the job and their previous experience. And then we've got another file here called employee demographics, and we can see that it also has an ID field, but it has some demographic details such as their gender, whether or not they're an ethnic minority, and their age and date of birth, etc. So we want to merge these files together. If I just go back to the employee job details file and then go to data, merge files, add variables, I can point it to the employee demographics file, which is already open in the background, or I can search for it, browse for it. It happens to be already opened in the background, so we can use that. Click continue. And you can see here we've got three different merge methods. One is one-to-one merge, where one case will match with another case, but based on the file order. That's an unusual situation, but it's basically assuming that case number 273, for example, matches to case number 273 in the other file. One-to-one merge based on a key value, that means based on a ID field, and the ID field has been detected here, so it's just looking for fields that have the same name. And the third option is a one-to-many merge, i.e. where one file contains more records than the other file, and you may be joining them together to preserve that information so that you have multiple transactions per individual or something like that. In this case, it's a one-to-one merge based on a key field or key values, which is the ID field here. If we click on the variables tab, we can see the variables that are going to contribute to the merge file. Those with an asterisk represent those in the current file, and those with a plus sign represent those in the external file, the demographic file. If we click OK at that point, you can see it's joined together at this point, and we can simply go and say File, Save As, and call it Employee Merged. And that's it.